While Tyler's taking a much needed break, Sensei Sam and I are going to show you a couple what we call war moves. It's good for your kids, teens, women. WAR stands for Women Against Rape. They're techniques that you can use that are easy to use. Doesn't take a lot of effort to get out of certain holds. Your most common attacks for women and kids would be somebody grabbing the wrist, trying to pull you away, or grabbing here, maybe trying to choke. First one, he's going to grab my wrist. All I'm going to do is open the book, set it down. Open the book, set it down. If he grabs with both hands, I'm just going to reach in, I'm going to make a fist. I'm going to reach in and grip my own fist, and I'm going to lift my arms straight as I keep both arms straight. And I'm going to step back and then kick, or step back and run. One of my favorites, I find a lot of people don't like because it sends them to the ground like a ton of bricks. If he grabs with a choke, both hands. The inside of your neck right here has a little indentation.
Oh, God.
If he grabs, I'm going to take either one of my two fingers. I'm going to set him down with no effort.
I did the best I could to resist that.
Let's see it again.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm getting spooky. Another one. I'm going to grab this wrist or this one, doesn't matter. I'm going to step over, elbow to the face. You notice I've got his arm straight here. I can wrist lock him or arm lock him. My choice. If he grabs with a lapel, same thing, trapping him here. I've got him with both arms up at the elbow. I can reach up to the sky, come down. Notice how his neck popped up. If they stay standing, which a lot of times they will, you're just going to step behind them and throw them to the ground. Say he's got some size on you, and he wants to come up and wrap his arms around you in a bear hug. And the first thing I'm going to do is try and get some separation between my body and his. I'm going to come up here, my hands up here, step behind him, and push. Now, the gentleman that we train under, Master Witz, he's a student of probably the baddest grappler living alive today, and that's Gene LaBelle. Gene LaBelle is real big on hooks. You know, grabbing whatever part of the body you can to take your opponent to the ground and finish the fight. It doesn't matter if it's his thumb, okay, wrist. Okay. Gene's big on grabbing the ears. If he's got to, he'll take his thumb and stick it inside your cheek and rip your face off. Okay. He's big on grabbing your head and taking it to the ground like that. Doesn't matter how big you are, wherever your head goes, your body will follow. So if he was to grab me like that, there. Okay. Here. Okay. Stay right on top of it. single lapel. I can grab with the closest hand to the one he's grabbing with. And I'm going to take my thumb on the outside of his hand. Between the two knuckles, push, peel it, and turn. If he grabs with another choke, you can reach up under, grab the thumbs, spread him out, knee him in the face. Or I can come up top, grab his thumbs, and walk him backwards. Bear hug from behind. Okay, got a lot of weapons here. Got my feet, and women, high heels, cowboy boots, stomp the feet, and your hands, break the knuckles, and break them up, walk through, and throw. Anybody grabs you under the arms in a bear hug, from either the front or the back, okay, here, it's a real foolish thing to do because you're giving somebody even more weapons to use at your disposal. If someone grabs, say, in front again of the choke, put your hand over their face, come down on top, water the eyes, break the nose. The old myth of hitting somebody up like this and sending the cartilage to the brain and kill them, it's a myth. It's not going to kill them because it's cartilage. There's no real structured bone there. Another thing I wanted to go over today, everybody that I've ever met that isn't into martial arts sees these two objects here and they get nervous, they get scared. For me, personally, if you come at me with these, I've got one thing to say to you. You better kill me. Because if you don't, I'm going to put a hurting on you like you've never felt before. Can anybody here tell me what the deadliest part of this knife would be if it was a real knife? It's a rubber knife. If it's a real knife, what is the worst part to deal with, the most deadliest? Anybody know? It's the first 2 inches. Just like with this. Some people see you getting swung at like this, and oh my God, you're going to break a bone. It could, but the deadliest part is the very first 2 inches right here. The reason being with this is that first 2 inches has the least amount of resistance when it's being swung. The further down you get, it's resisted more by just natural gravity. So if I was to swing at Sam and hit him right here on his arm, the way he blocked it, it might hurt a little bit, might give him a bruise, but it's not going to do anything to him. Now if I was to swing it and he blocked it here, I'm going to break his wrist or forearm. Okay? If I was to swing and hit him like this, it's going to knock him out at the very least and probably end his life. We're going to show you just a few defenses against these two weapons. First one would be somebody being foolish enough to come up and rob you. Okay? Put a knife to your chest. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say, hey man, I don't want no trouble. I'll give you whatever you want. I'll pull my wallet out as slowly as possible. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it on the ground. That's the first thing he's going to do when I drop it. Okay? He's either going to go to get it or he's going to look down. Now I have control. I may not have the knife, I don't care. Even if he tries to reach down and get it, okay, I'm going to lock him up here. I'm going to tell him, get away from the knife. Get away from the knife! Okay? He's going to do whatever I want. Because number one, he's in a lot of pain right now and he doesn't want his arm broken. He does that, same situation here. I'm just going to have my hands up and I'm going to shoot it down, getting a good control of his wrist. One here like this, keeping control of his hand and the knife. Take it down. Let go of the knife. Okay? Kick it away. The situation is diffused. If they're slashing at you, okay, just keep slashing. Now I'm behind him. I've got control of his arm and his wrist. I'm not worried about the knife anymore. Here. Give me the knife. Now I've got it. An overhand strike. I know he's coming. Okay, I'm going to step to the side and block it. Same technique. Real simple. Get control of the stick. Walk away. And he's coming over the head. I've got control here. Wrap him up. Take it away. I can break his arm, break some ribs, the stick. One way. All right. Next, now that he's rested, we're going to run Tyler through 2 systems of forms. The first is going to be my original system, which is called Kung Tao. It's a Chinese art developed in the Philippines, Malaysia, that part of the country. It's a jungle fighting art that's very combat orientated, and when practiced properly and done properly, in my opinion, is probably one of the deadliest arts out there. Right now, there's only one master in it who actually goes to the Philippines and parts of the country where any one of us, if we were to go there, we wouldn't be leaving. But he actually goes there and trains with the tribes and does seminars and learns what he can learn from them. He is one of the top black belts under Joe Rossi. Joe Rossi was one of the first Caucasians to go there and train and master the system. I think there was only like 2 or 3 people that ever did it. These forms that Tyler's going to do now, there's 2 of them that he's going to do. If not, do you remember 3rd? Okay, he's going to do the 3rd. He's going to do them at my count, and then I'm going to run him through to show where these punches would go and how they would be effective. They're not really what you would consider typical martial arts forms. They're not recognized in any governing body for demonstration tournaments. These are more of techniques to practice to keep your skills honed on your punching, your kicking, your blocks, your balance, and so on. Yeah, left fighting stance. Count number 1. 1 8. Full speed and power. 2 8. 3 8. 4 8. 5 8. Again. 1 8. 2 8. 3 8. 4 8. 5 8. Count number 2. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. Again. Count number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3. Hands up. 6. 7. 8. 9. 'He didn't get the third one, but that's all right. Okay, the first form are basic, simple techniques. If I'm fighting somebody, 1A is just going to be a straight punch to the throat. 2A is a punch to the throat, right punch to the stomach. 3A is a left punch to the throat, right punch to the stomach, and a left snap kick to the face. Count of 2. 1 would be a left punch to the throat, right punch to the stomach, left front kick to the left knee with a right punch to the stomach. And they're real simple and straightforward. As you get into the more advanced forms, there's a few different techniques I can point out. One would be blocking a right punch. I'm going to strike to the stomach. I'm going to come back after the punch to the stomach with a ridge hand to the throat. I'm going to come back. I'm going to grab his throat. My hand is here. I'm going to step behind him and sweep his leg out at the same time as I rip his throat out. Now he's going to do a traditional form from a system called Uchido, which is Master Witz's system. The first form is Ichi. You ready? You ready, son? Anytime you're ready. No, just find a song.
Get!
Over the last couple of years, Master Witz, myself, and a few others have developed a form. And starting out with the forms, the form that Tyler just did is a traditional form, and in all practical purposes, in a street fight, they're useless. But what they do help you develop is your proper stance, breathing techniques, your blocks, punches, kicks. It gives you a good foundation to start with. Sam here, Sensei Tarpley, is going to demonstrate a form that we've developed. It's a fighting form, and it's actually a realistic form you could use to defend yourself against multiple attackers. He's going to do it slow and then at street speed, and then we're going to break it down as he does each technique. I'll stand in front of him and he'll demonstrate how it would work at full speed and power in a real street fight against multiple attackers. Whenever you're beginning, whenever you're ready. this. Say there's 5 or 6 of us that want to jump for whatever reason. He's no longer able. I'm coming up this side of him. I'm going to start an attack. He's going to rip into my body. Okay, here. He's going to block, punch. Okay, and another attacker is coming from here. Here. Side kick. Keep going. Stop. And if you notice him coming forward, he was using his fingertips, what we call it, a dragon's tail sweep. Here, and then he comes forward with a palm fist blast. And that can be pretty deadly. And just now he threw a left back kick and a chop to the carotid artery. If done properly, there's no way they're going to continue the fight after that strike. That could be just extremely devastating. You ready to do some breaking?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll let you go first.
Just a little reminder, I haven't done this in a while, so I might not do it, I don't know. Huh? Watch out for shrapnel.